Hello, my name is Bob Murphy with Murphy Electric in York, Nebraska. We've been in business since 1928 in an effort to try to keep our customers up to date and stay abreast of those things that are happening in the electrical field. We have developed a little program that I want to show you that works in conjunction with your telephone. You don't have to use a telephone. It can be set up with a two-way radio control, or it can be set up via wire. Any way you want to operate it. This little demo that I have put together is in conjunction with a company we're working with here locally. Their names are Agri-Products of York, and they build slide gates, valves, distributors, grain legs, farm equipment, tanks for fertilizer and whatnot. They're just an all-around good fabricator. And we've been building these things for slide gates for unloading overhead bins. This little demo that I have put together here, however, is not a unit for an overhead bin. It's a unit that I will be using in winding our coils for electric motors. So the concept is can be used in many different applications. We talked to a gentleman yesterday morning that is interested in putting 4 of these units, not the control, but 4 of these slide operators together, and for blending grain. He wants to blend it off into a rail car. And he said if we can do that at a reasonable price, that it probably would save 1 man. Well, when you start saving that kind of expense, then it can make a lot of sense. Anyway, this unit can be controlled locally from the display here. Right now, I have it at 50%. No, I don't. I have it closed. Okay. So we'll come over here and put in 25%. I have this set up so it's 25, 50, 75, or 100%. But because of the way the actuator works, I wanted to be able to show it. I can't turn it and get it all in the video. So we'll start off here at 25%. And when I hit the button, of course it runs to 25%. You can see the actuator is moving the product, and it come out to 25%. And now I can go on out to 50%. And when it gets to 50%, it'll stop. And then we can go back to 25%. This same thing can be done too. I should bring it out. You don't necessarily have to use a push button of this type. It can be a sliding potentiometer or whatever mechanism you want to use here on the display. So there's a lot of different ways of showing the control. I just happen to say 25, 50, 75, and 100%. Now I've showed you the 25, 50 thing here that way, but we can also turn around then and Just run it all the way closed if we want to. I am, and I'll stand up now and you probably won't be able to see all of it. Me, not that I'm that good looking, but anyway, here we go. So, it did run all the way shut, and I'm using a little proc switch here on the end. There's no moving arms or anything of that nature. It just, when it comes down and it senses this metal plate, it stops. That's the end of the operation. Now, here's the good part. Here's my telephone, and on the telephone, I'm emulating the display. So, on my telephone, you hold that little unlock button in, hit 50% here like we did before, hit the button, and there you go. So let's say that we wanted to go to 75%. I'll let it get stopped, and then I'll hit 75%, and we'll go there. That's probably about as much as we're going to be able to see on the camera. And so then we can go back home. And that takes us all the way back to our starting position. And that's the overall feature of what's going on. But I'll, when it gets home, I will show you. All right, now, if I'm holding the unlock button here on the phone, and I'm going to hold this for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I have a display on here where I am able to set the amount of travel that I want for those different steps. So it's not available necessarily for the operator, but for those that are setting it up. And so if we go, for example, in here at 25%, I keep forgetting to do that on this phone. You have to keep that unlocked. But if I hit in here, like so, then I can change that number. And I happen to know that 25% is 4,000 counts on the little counter that I've got running in here. So I'll just change that to, let's say, 2,000 counts. I got to get it where I can get my clumsy fingers to work that little tiny display. And then we hit enter. Maybe. There it is. And that locks it. And then we'll hit enter here. And then we'll return home. And now when we return and I hit this, it's going to travel only that shorter distance. And of course, it didn't change anything else. We can go back home. So you can think about the different operations that this concept can be taken into. You can use it on turn heads, you can use it on valves, you can use it on slide gates, you can do it for mixing grain. There's just any number of concepts that it can be used on. As I said earlier, it's a demo unit for me, but at the same time, I'm going to use it to feed the wire, the magnetic wire, onto an automatic winder to wind the coils for the motors that we wind in our facility. So hopefully that makes some sense to you. I wanted to show you here briefly a little something about the program that goes with this for security. Hang on a minute. Sorry about stepping in front of you. This is the program that we use on the computer to be able to get to the telephone. It's a VPN service with the router that's on the inside. And as you can see, when I click on, I have this set up as my test under devices here, but this is our setup screen on the router VPN service, and it allows you to, depending on which router you would happen to purchase, we can go with a wired network or a wireless network or a cellular network. So it can be set up on any one of those. And then of course, once it's set up, then you come in here and you can, in this case, connect. And once it's connected, it turns blue here. And then if I click on this, then you can set up your networks. So there's the WAN and the LAN and the firewall and the VPN for connecting. And of course it has to all be set up and used with your existing internet service or cellular service, whichever is applicable for your application. The admin area, I happen to be the only one in here, but you can come in here and do groups, and then under groups you put in the users and their username and password. This particular unit, I believe, has 15, you can put up, I think it's 15 users in each group, and you can have 3 groups, so there'd be like 45 people that could be on here. And you can set their different levels up. They can be operators, or they can be maintenance people, or they can be administrators. There's all kinds of different ways you can set the program up. I hope that makes some sense to you. We can also monitor, we can emulate this telephone on, of course, iPads, computers, any number of devices, and so I'm hoping that that gives you some food for thought, and possibly a way that we might be able to help your organization get a better handle on some of the control needs. Thank you very much for your time. We'll take some questions.